Hey everybody, my name is Alan. This is Potbelly Performance, and we are going to get back on the white truck. So we've had a few delays with it. I've had other things going on, other projects. You know how it is. I'm sure y'all know how it is. It's always fun to get new projects and start new projects and things like that. So anyway, so we're getting back on the 97 half-ton short bed 8.1 liter swap. So where I kind of left off was I got the engine pulled out, got everything removed from the truck. Really what I've got left, we've been kind of using it as a table lately, but anyways, what I got to do is get the V6 mounts off of the frame. And so if you know these trucks, you'll understand that the frame brackets are set backwards, and so you have to take those off the frame. You can't just zip out the bolts off the frame. There's actually nuts. They're not captured nuts. They're not welded to the frame. It's not a threaded hole in the frame. It is a freaking nut on the inside of the frame rail that you have to go up in through the suspension, through the control arms, with a wobble, which I don't even know if I have what I need to do this. So we're going to see what we can do. But yeah, a huge pain in the butt to take these frame brackets off. And I don't know if y'all can hear me. This road that this shop is on has 18-wheelers running up and down it all day long. So and it's going to have some background noise today. But yeah, so admittedly, I've been kind of procrastinating on getting those frame brackets off, so I got to do that. I did buy some motor mounts. The way I'm kind of treating it is it's a 1990 Chevy 454 half-ton, like 454 SS. So you got to get those brackets off. I don't really have a good way of cleaning anything up here because we don't really have water. The shop is not technically a shop. It's supposed to be like for storage and things like that. So it really doesn't have a lot of amenities that I need to do what I need to do. So we just kind of have to wing it. So I'm probably going to end up having to go get some degreaser and some brushes and jugs of water. I don't know, but I need to clean the frame. But what I intend on doing today, as far as what I want to get accomplished, is get the frame brackets off. I'll probably cut the exhaust off because it's going to be in the way. We're going to swap the motor mount brackets from the 454, the spare 454 I got over there, over onto the 8.1, and put see, we got the 480. Got to put the 480 on it, and then we've got the torque converter. So I want to get all that married. I would really like to just get it set in the truck because I need to know if the oil pan's going to hang too low. I need to know if the transmission pan is going to hang too low. So there's a lot of things that I need to check on first before I can actually say, hey, yeah, it's done. You know, let's start reassembly. So, but anyways, so here we go. We're going to get that knocked out. Hopefully my microphone doesn't give me any attitude this time. I'm not good at this yet, so we're still learning. We're gonna crack open a nice cold energy drink and I guess get started. I'd like to put on some music, but I gotta make a YouTube video. I struggle to work without music. I lose a lot of motivation. So anyways, give me just a second. Okay, I'm back. So I just wanted to take a little pause there. I needed to clean out a spot so I could get the engine lift over to the engines. Kind of got some spare parts and just stuff in the way of them. So cleared out a little spot. I don't know. I'm procrastinating on these frame brackets. I'm just not in the mood to get under the truck and just fight everything. But I do want to get the engines pulled out. I need to get the frame brackets pulled off of the 454. So I've got to lift the engine up so I can access those. It's currently sitting on an engine stand, like a cradle on the ground. I'll turn the camera here in a minute and y'all can see everything. But a lot of people don't know. They assume the 8.1 liter was just like a big ass LS engine, like LS based engine. And that's not true. It's actually a lot closer to the 454 than it is LS. It does have LS things on it just because it was built in that generation. So, but it's all iron. Sorry, got drainage or something. Iron block, iron heads. But it still, like the harmonic balancer, the accessories, the ignition system, sensors, things like that. Yeah, those are what you would expect to see on like a 5.3, stuff like that. It all looks similar to that. But as far as the engine itself goes, is really just the successor to the 454. So I'm hoping, I really hope, I don't know for a fact. I've never done an 8.1 swap. This is my first time with this engine. I don't have a lot of knowledge in them. I know I was just really excited to do this swap because it's not another LS. I'm so bored with LSs that I've gotten to the point to where, you know, hey, let's throw a carbureted engine in something now. You know, like it's just, you know, like you just get bored over time with them. So they've kind of lost their excitement with me. You know, they've run their course. But anyways, back to the 8.1. I don't know 100% if those engine brackets on the 454 will work on the 8.1. So we're going to figure that out. But I got to pick the 454 up, get those brackets off, set it back down, pick the 8.1 up off of its stand, and it's actually bolted to the stand. But get it up off the cradle and see if these are going to work. So I'm still procrastinating on these frame brackets. I'm not in the mood, guys. I know that's not what y'all want to hear, but I hate, if it was a V8 truck originally, yeah, no problem. I wouldn't be procrastinating, but because it's a V6, I gotta get those frame brackets off because the V6 brackets locate the engine further back. So they're like kind of like these offset brackets. I'll show you. Man, cannot clear my throat. Anyways, let me see how these are offset backwards. That should be up here on a traditional V8 truck. Okay, so here's the two engines, the two big blocks. Get this adjusted. Give me a second. I'll get y'all situated in just a second. All right. So there's that. I mean, even the valve covers are very similar. The 8.1 is just a much better engine in my opinion. 454, I love 454s. I've always loved them. I think they're great engines. The downfall, and everyone will agree, if you have any experience with these things, the downfall to the Vortec 454 is they're kind of neutered. They don't they don't have a whole lot of power like you would want. However, I still love them. They're great towing engines. I've got friends, so and y'all will see it coming up, but I have my long lost dually, but it basically needs an engine. So give me a second. Anyways, so I've known it's needed an engine way back. You know, once I got it from the school after it was wrecked, it would a cold start would be right above 20 psi on oil pressure. it always ran good. It ran good, but it had no oil pressure. And so I have this 454 that I intend on putting in that truck sometime in the future. Another little funny thing, I went to post a video on my long lost dually, and it was a whole video explaining its history up until this day of when I got it, diagnosed it, fixed it. I mean, this was a 2-hour long video, uploaded it, and I have no idea where my video went. It's not on YouTube. It's not on my editing software. It's not even in my phone. I literally don't know where it went. So I lost an entire video, 2 hours worth of content that I could have posted last night. So I'm a little agitated about that. I don't know what I did or what my phone did. I don't know how it happened. I have no idea. So I've got to make a new video with that truck. And I also am very excited. I'm picking up another dually. I don't need it. I just want one. I just want 2 of them. Who knows? I'll have 5 of them. I don't care. I want what I want and I get it. But I have another dually coming up. It's going to be a great revival. I'm pretty excited about it. But back to this. I got to drag this out. And we got to swap, see if those brackets are going to swap over on this 8.1. Okay. Great. Cool. Now I gotta fight my engine lift, cherry picker, whatever you want to call it, because it doesn't really assemble very well. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, so y'all don't have to watch it and kind of speed up the video a little bit, I'm gonna go ahead and set up the engine lift, and then get a chain set up and all that stuff, and then I'll be back. So that way you don't have to watch me fight with a chain and all that. So some cotter pin. Well, the video was supposed to pause and it didn't. Let's pause it now. Okay. As usual, I'm having issues. It's either my phone or it's this, either way. But I thought I was recording and I wasn't recording. So here we are, we're back. I got chains set up on both engines. Got a moving blanket set up on that one just because we don't want to scratch up the paint. But I have a lot of chain. This is a random tidbit here. It's kind of a guy thing, I think, but there's things guys will always have multiples of, and that's blocks of wood, extension cords, and chains, or at least for me. I have multiple chains, big, small, short, long, and I've just collected them over the years. You can never have too much chain. Same with nice blocks of wood. Like I'll find random blocks of wood and just pick them up because they always come in handy. 2x4, 4x4, 8x8, 6x6. Anyways, so I was in the process of this. I was talking to you guys. I thought I was talking to you guys. And I went to make sure my phone was recording. And I'm glad I did, because it was not recording. So, as a matter of fact, I'm going to check again. There's just not any, you know, like I have no indicator of what my phone's doing when I'm working. If y'all ever see me looking at the door, it's because it always sounds like someone's outside. But look at this peephole on this door. Like even in my camera, you can see outside. The owner of this building said those came from a bank. They were tearing down a bank. And that's where those came from. Pretty cool. You don't have to be right up against the door to see who's outside. You can just glance over at it and you can see. Okay, let's drag this out a little bit. And I don't have any power tools with me. So y'all can just hang out, get an extension, hang out and watch me twist some bolts around. I mean, I have an air impact. Problem with that is my the compressor, which is actually Alfredo's compressor. I don't think y'all have met Alfredo yet, but he and I share the shop. And anyways, compressor died. Won't kick on, keeps killing or tripping breakers. So we don't even have air, compressed air now. Put your bolts back in your holes. That way they don't walk away. I hope these brackets fit 8.1 liter. I know headers will fit. Big block headers will fit on an 8.1. And that's the plan for this truck, is to buy some 454 SS headers to bolt to this, because like I said, we're basically building a more modernized 454 SS truck. And we even have, sorry, I get winded a lot, I'm fat. Anyways, I even have the whole differential, the whole axle assembly from a 454 SS. And if y'all don't know, that axle was only built for the 454 SS. It's a 14 bolt, 9.5 inch gear, semi-float rear end. And what a lot of guys do is get like a light duty 3/4 ton truck, OBS. It's the same axle. The difference is axle shafts. The deal though is a light duty is a 6 lug. Obviously the SS was a 5 lug, and the you can't just go out and buy SS axles, like axle shafts. You can't go out and buy axle shafts for a 454 SS like from AutoZone or anything like that. You can't do it. So when I got this axle assembly, I opened it up. It had been sitting for This thing had to have been sitting outside for 20 years. I don't know. It's rough. And it's still rough. It looks rough, but inside it's all new. Anyways, I opened it up. The bearings were froze up. There was so much rust in this thing. The bearings were froze up on the axle shafts and had put divots all the way around. So there was nothing I could do about that. And so I got a hold of Dutchman axles. They make the pretty affordable set, I would say, of axle shafts. They are chromoly. I think they was like 25% stronger than stock. I don't know. I can't remember. I've owned this assembly for a long time. But put 411s in it. I kept the differential. It's a G80, but it'll be fine for this truck. This truck's going to be so light. I mean, on the street, that axle is not going to be under a lot of stress. So I trust that G80. It looked good after I cleaned it up. It looked nice. All new bearings, axle shafts, all that stuff. So, and a disc brake kit that I bought from Little Shop Manufacturing. They make probably the best disc brake kits for these trucks. So we are really honestly building a 454 SS. So just a modern version. So who knows, we'll just call it a 496 SS. But it'll have the differential. It's going to have a 4L80. The 4L80, the reason why I want to check pan clearance on that trans is because it has a very deep aluminum pan, like aftermarket pan put on it right now. So I don't know if that's going to clear because this truck sits pretty low. Even with the V6, I had it lowered quite a bit. So with all this, I mean, I think we're going to add 300 or 400 pounds total package from the 4.3 4L60 to an 8.1 all iron 8.1 and 4L80. So I would estimate probably 300 or 400 pounds are going to be put on this truck. So it's going to lower it even more. And one thing me and Josh, the owner of the truck, talked about was we may have to raise it up a little bit in the front, which is okay. We can do that. So let's get this other bracket off. We'll set this engine back down, pick that one up, and hope for the best. What do you say? It's going to be a super cool truck, though, when it's all said and done. Wire harness, I don't know what to expect on the wire harness yet. Josh, the way me and Josh, we're good friends. Josh is a great guy, and someone that will help anybody. If you need help, Josh is there. But we actually met. He's an engineer for a company that he and I both used to work for, and he was in like the Houston side of things, and then we are probably about 4 hours, 3.5, 4 hours north of Houston. But he was on a plant tour, and somebody had told him about this guy that builds LS harnesses. So, and that was me. And so he somehow tracked me down in the shop. Machine shop is what it was. I used to be a machinist, and we got to talking. So he says I did a couple harnesses for him, but he says I've reworked the 8.1 harness, 8.1 harness already years ago. This had to have been 2017, 20. Yeah, it had to have been around 2017 because that's when I had that shop that I was doing them in. So I have no memory of it at all. He's also the same guy that has the dually that we're going to be putting on air ride. We're going to be bagging his dually. It's an OBS. So he said the 8.1 stuff to that engine, the harness and all, is in the back seat of that truck. I hadn't even looked yet. All right, this is going to be left side. All right, left. We're going to attempt to put this back on the stand by itself, or by myself. Ouch. Well, if it likes it, it likes it. I'm gonna pick it up a little bit and try and scoot it. Let's get this one hooked up, drug out, and we'll see what happens here. I need to get some black paint. So I'm thinking about doing, since I don't have a way to really clean this truck, my house is literally less than a block away from here. It's walking distance. So I may drag it down to the house. Me and Alfredo, we'll just pull it down to the house and I'll just wash it up over at the house, and then I can get some paint and we'll spray the frame. And I think that's what we'll probably do, because there's quite a bit of oil and stuff. This ain't even this truck's first engine swap. It's years ago. I used to work at Amco here in Stephenville, and this was before this truck was mine. We put another V6 in it, and it didn't even need the V6. The engine, it just had a busted freeze plug, and instead of it was the freeze plug behind the motor mount, if I remember correctly, and we couldn't do it. And so we were just gonna, what we should have done was pulled the engine, put a new freeze plug in it, and be done with it. But they decided to put an engine in it, and the engine they got was a junkyard engine, and it was never right. That engine just never ran right, always misfired. I've thrown so much, after I bought it, I had thrown so much money at trying to figure out what the problem was. New injectors, entire ignition system, just everything. Just, I don't know. It always had this random misfire that would just come and go. I mean, it wasn't even predictable. So never ran right. But anyways, back at the task at hand. I don't even know where I was going with all that. I was just rambling. I ramble a lot. Okie dokie. And away we go. Try to protect this engine as much as I can. I'm hoping one day I can buy this truck back off of Josh, but we're gonna have so much money in it, I don't know if I'll ever be able to afford it. I'm still recording. Okay. My first LS swap was one of these trucks. And it was the twin. It was the twin to this truck, but it was a factory V8. That's gonna be a 17 of it. Anyways, it's a V8 automatic. It's a 305. That truck in particular was a, I think it was a 96 model, but it was white. And then I lowered it. I did a 5.6 drop. I like my trucks to sit just a little bit lower in the front because it makes them have that muscle truck look, you know, muscle car stance. So I like them to sit a little bit lower in the front. And that truck did like 20-inch torque thrusts. Actually, they weren't torque thrusts. They were Boss 20-inch, basically torque thrust knockoffs. I did that, had the bumpers painted. If I remember correctly, I think that truck had a roll pan. Dang, I can't remember. It did have a roll pan. Anyways, all power interior. It was a really nice truck, and I got a good deal on it. And one day, and this is kind of, oh great, I ain't gonna get to that. It's kind of a car guy mentality, especially when you're a kid. That well, where's my 16 millimeter? Anyways, one of the injectors had failed, and those trucks have spider injectors, and you can replace just one, I guess, but I use it as an excuse to do an LS swap. So I sold a bunch of cars and a bunch of parts, like spare stuff, you know how it is, to fund the swap. And I think I generated like $6,000 to do this. And so I went and bought a $500 5.3 liter pretty low mileage engine. I don't even think it had 120,000 miles on it. I bought a full pull-out from a really good wrecking yard up in Fort Worth. And so did that. And I was going to build up the automatic trans. So I had bought a bunch of things to beef it up, and I was going to take it to the trans shop and have them do it. Well, then I come across this deal on a T56 6-speed manual, and the guy wanted $1,000, 0 miles. It had just been rebuilt, and I was like, man, I gotta have that. It would be so sweet to have a 6-speed LS swapped OBS. And if I can figure out how to do it, I'll include some pictures in this video, but I'm not too savvy with all that. I don't know how to put pictures in. But anyways, so plans changed. I sold the trans, and I actually had a 5-speed truck, parts truck. So I took all the manual pieces, like the column and all that stuff, the cluster. I wanted no trace of automatic in that truck. Now, anyways, that was my first LS swap. It was an awesome truck. No lie, because my drive is all highway. From here to work, I've been doing this drive. Hang on, wait for that truck. I've been doing this drive for at least 13 years, where it's just highway. It's from where I live to work in town, 20 miles one way. Anyways, no lie, that truck would get 25 miles a gallon. It was very predictable. I did it multiple times. 25 miles to the gallon on the highway. It was a great running truck. And then I got bored one day and decided to list it for sale. And that was stupid. I regretted it. So ended up always wanted this truck. You know what? These brackets are going to work. I always wanted this truck. I always saw in town. Old man was driving it. Is it gonna work? Give me a second. Oh, buddy. Hooky there. Cool. All right. Anyways, and I could always spot this truck in town. Even when I was driving my white truck, this truck was there driving around town. And I could always spot it because the dude is just old dude, big dude. He's huge, not fat. He was just a big guy. His name's Dale. And I could always spot this truck because the door and fender were caved in. And so, come to find out, years and years down the road, that truck came through AAMCO needing an engine. And then years after that, I want to say, actually not even years, maybe a year later, he got to where he couldn't drive. And so I bought the truck. And basically all I did was I paid the lien. He had a title lien on it. So I just paid that off, and that's how I got the truck. And the rest is history. Here we are now. Doing this. Getting ready to stab a big ass engine into it. These are not threading very well. They're not cross threaded. Getting tight though. That one's good. Good and tight. So we're basically going to be just doing a mock-up is what I want to do. And I'd really like to get this set in the truck, so can't promise it today, but that's what I'm going to try and do. Yes, I'm using my plastic ratchet. This thing's probably older than some of you guys. And that's the engine stopped wobbling around. Okay. Now this side. Where are you gonna go? What? Yeah. Yeah, I see why the threads were tight. It's because the engine bracket was set up on some different holes. So these holes that we're using have paint in them. All right. I need to get back in the gym. Need to lose about 40 pounds. But, you know, sometimes you just want to be fat and happy. That's kind of where I'm at right now. I like being fat and happy. Okay. Let's get the transmission hooked up. Are we in shot? Nope. Okay. Let's get one of our handy dandy blocks of wood here. That should work. All right. Luckily, he had the transmission bolts. So I forgot about all that. I was like, crap, I don't have any bolts. We're short one, but I can definitely find one transmission bolt laying around here. We got a few. Now I gotta drag that transmission in here. Do. Got a Circle D torque converter. I think we're doing a 3K stall, 3000 stall. It's billet cover. I don't know. I don't remember what I bought. 3000 is what I remember though. Let's move this trans. Really wish I had a dolly, but I don't. So I get to fight it. Give me a second. I'll be over there. Just a minute. Wire cutters. Y'all think, I don't know how well y'all can hear these 18-wheelers on the video, but I think that's bad because they are very loud in the shop. At my house, there's a feed mill, and that's where all these trucks go to and from. Is this feed mill, and that feed mill is unloading train cars, and they use this giant industrial vibrator on those train cars to shake all the feed down to the bottom. And it's obnoxiously loud in the house. You can't really hear the TV. It's always rattling the windows. Yeah. I understand they got a job to do. But we were there first. And then they came into town. And we got to listen to that stuff is how I'll put that. I'm going to call it BS, but well, we get some sweet stickers and a koozie. I can put my energy drinks in that. Put these stickers on something. I don't like to put stickers on my toolboxes. I'm weird. I prefer my toolboxes to be as they are. I have this one rinky dinky cabinet, tool cabinet. What the hell is this for? A bottle? Never mind. Can't put it in a can. Can's too big. Alright. What did I buy? Pro Series single lockup. Does not say what stall. Man, I can't believe I forgot what stall it was. I remember 3K, so, but I've bought other converters since then. What? You can get a pin? I knew that, guys. Circle D is basically the only company I buy converters through if we're doing stuff like this. Alright. Now, contrary to popular belief, you do not have to fill your torque converter up. But, just to keep people happy, we're going to put some in the torque converter. So, I was part of that belief that you don't have to put any, or that you need to at least put a quart or two of ATF in the converter. But the transmission shop disagrees, and they build race transmissions and everything. So he says you don't even have to worry about it. It'll suck it up and just let it idle, and it'll fill up. But you know, old habits die hard. It's kind of like the whole don't put a battery on the concrete because it'll short it out, or whatever the myth is. That is 100% a myth. I promise you, putting a battery does not short it out. I want you to explain it to me if it actually does, because it does not. I don't even know. I wish I knew the origin of that story or where that came from, because if you just stop and think about it, your battery, like on old cars too, like the concrete is not conductive. As far as I know, it's not conductive. You put the battery on a metal tray in your vehicle, that's conductive. Electricity doesn't travel through plastic. The battery is plastic. How the hell is it shorting it out when you set it on the ground? It's like, oh yeah, let's put it on this block of wood to keep it from shorting out. No, literally makes no sense. I don't set my batteries on blocks of wood and they never die. I just don't get it. That's okay. I understand there's always those myths out there. But I've never had a battery drain from being put on the concrete or even the ground, the dirt. All right, let's get a swig. We're going to stab this converter and then we're going to pick it up and try and put it on the engine. Unfortunately for Mr. Josh, and he'll see this video, I don't know if he knows this, you can tell a good 4L80 from a bad one, or a preferable unit from unpreferable. So this is actually an unpreferable 4L80 because the transmission cooler lines are like this. They're on top of each other. That means it's older. It's I think the break point was 99 or older will have this. And so they're not as strong. I can't remember if it's the overdrive or it's a drum or something. It's not as strong, and it's more prone to failure, mechanical failure. So the one you want is it'll have this port, and then there'll be another cooler back here, a cooler line back here. That's a 99 and up. That's the one that's been updated, and that's what everyone prefers. So this is an older unit, which I don't know the history of this engine or this transmission. I don't know if it's been gone through, if it's all stock. I know it's got the heavy pan on it, the bigger pan on it, so I'm hoping it's at least upgraded somewhat. But what I'm banking on is this truck is so light, I don't think it's really ever going to hook to damage that transmission. It'll be plenty strong for a truck this light. Okay. Now, I don't have a belt with me today, so y'all might get a little show. Anyways, billet cover. It's preferable to get the billet covers because they're way more precise on the pads. You don't have to deal with the welding and stuff because your stock converters, those pads are just welded on. I've seen them break off. I've seen them not be true to the cover, so these are the way to go. We jiggle, rotate, jiggle, find the lock. There goes one. Come on, girl. Yeah, you got a long way to go. There's two. You want to go for 3 clicks. Sometimes you don't get 3 clicks, so you gotta just kind of feel your spacing in the back. Sometimes you line it up just right and you skip a click. You get 2 in 1. But it helps jiggle and turn. Jiggle, turn. Jiggle, turn. This one's being a little stubborn though. Jiggle, turn. I'll just do it again because I don't trust it. Oh, great. There's one. There we go. That was it. Yep. Okay. I'm not ready to lift this thing. You gotta lift it at the same time as throw a bolt in it. I wish I had a little wheelie cart. I do have one, but another transmission sitting on it, and I don't have the best back, so I'm not gonna try and lift that other 4L80 up and off of it and put this one on it. Well, I could just do that, you know. You know what I'm saying? But y'all are definitely about to see me struggle. I could probably put it on that pallet, actually, and scoot the pallet, or bring the engine to it. All right. I'm going to adjust this camera. I don't want to be flashing my butt crack to you guys. I know, I'm considerate. It's very nice of me. I'm just going to go over here. Okay, looks good.
Alrighty. Here we go. Time to blow out her back. Let's do something like this. Dang. Wish this is when it's nice to have someone here to help you. Okay. Ooh, almost lost the converter. Let's do this again. Come on. Go. Okay. Let's be a little smarter here. Let's do this. We'll bring the engine to her. I don't know why, but it seems like big blocks kind of get a little bit of hate. It don't make sense to me. You get a lot of engine, and you can make a lot of power with them, and that to me seems fun. So I don't understand the hate people want to freaking excuse me, I almost let one slip. People want to hate on them. And it just doesn't make sense. 454 is a great engine. 8.1 I know is a great engine. But whatever. We all have our things. You got the LS fanboys. I think that's all that there is out there. And I disagree. Disagree. They're cool and all. I mean, they're great engines. Probably one of the most, and I'll probably get some hate for it, but one of the absolutely most reliable engine that GM ever made. I understand the 350 is also one of the best engines, or the small block Chevy, but the 5.3 LS or Vortec engine, I'm just used to calling it LS. I understand it's not a real, like a true LS engine. Anyways, it's also one of the most reliable engines out there because they're so simple. And I've seen multiples get up to 400,000 miles. I personally pulled one. I had bought a Escalade off of a friend of mine, and it had 400,000 miles on it. And I pulled it apart. I want to check the heads, bearings, not heads, cylinder walls, bearings, everything. It needed literally nothing. The bearings look great. Cam bearings look like shit. But there's a saying with LS's, don't look at the bearings. Because if you do, you're going to have to install some new ones. And anyways, but cam bearings look like crap. But these engines are really awesome because they were designed to go 500,000 miles. Like, they were literally engineered for it. And they put them in everything. Like workhorse chassis, if you know what that is. They They just put them in everything. All right, so I'm gonna get one bolt started just to use it as a pilot, and then I'm gonna let the engine down a little bit. It's kind of leaning right now. I'll let the engine down and rotate it. Nope, she ain't gonna work that way. All right, so the engine wants to rotate like so. So we're gonna rotate like so. Alright, I guess we're just gonna have to rotate the trans. Dang it. Now I gotta find shims. Brush handle, it's a good option. Pretty even. Nope, need more. How about now? I can already feel that twinge in my back. Not good. I know I'm gonna be hurting tomorrow. I feel a nerve getting pissed off. All right, so that's pretty dang close. Come here, engine. Get over here. Give us some love. Okay, there's one. There's two. Oh, don't do that. Let's try that again. Got one thread. That's all it takes. And we can straighten it up. Okay. Let's get our gap evened up a little bit. Like so. These are going to be 15s. 15 deep. I'll take the back. 9/16. Interesting. Where's my Rachito? Okay. I put it back. That I did. Now this transmission most likely came from a 454 because it doesn't have the top hole. So the engine does, but the transmission does not. So I'm gonna tighten all the top ones, and we're gonna be too short at the very bottom. I'm gonna try and find 2 trans bolts. I think at 4L60 will probably have what I need. If not, I'll have to go get some, but it's not a big deal. They're very accessible under the truck, so that's why that's not really a big deal. We'll get the harder top bolts installed. That way we don't have to fight them later. You want to spin your converter as you tighten your bolts, because if that nose doesn't line up with the crank, you're gonna have a problem. You don't want it pushing. Like if it's binding, you don't want it pushing on the torque converter. If it does bind and pushes on the converter, it can break the pump. So as you suck it together, just make sure it spins freely. And then when you go to bolt up the torque converter, you can draw it in with the bolts. She's free spinning. Just for fun, let's see if 2 of these trans bolts thread into this block. I know these are 14s. Whoa. Whoa, Nelly. Almost rolled the engine over. All that power. It's gonna thread. Yeah, I need a metric bolt. Yeah, no, it's not right. Yeah. All right, so not correct. I don't like it. We need metric bolts. I'm curious if we've got any laying around from Alfredo's engine. No, I don't really want to be mix and match things. Also, tidbit, LS AC compressor bolts, the bracket bolts. There's a bracket that bolts the AC compressor to the engine. If you're mounting an LS to an engine stand and you need bolts for the bell housing, the AC bracket bolts are freaking perfect to go through the engine stand. You don't have to jerry rig any spacers, washers and stuff to bolt it up to the block. You literally just use those AC bracket bolts, run them through the back of the engine adapter and thread into the bell housing holes. Alfredo didn't do that with this one. He I don't know why. He knows the trick. This is what I'm talking about. It's that little setup he's got. If you use the AC bracket bolts, AC compressor bracket bolts, the perfect lengths. Okay, so I'm gonna have to come back on doing those bell housing bolts. All right, I'm gonna take a break. I'm probably just gonna knock out these brackets on the frame without anybody watching, because y'all don't really care to see all that. It's not necessary. So I'm gonna get these knocked out, kind of get the truck ready. We're gonna go ahead and stab this in and then see how it goes. So I'm gonna knock out the one boring thing that no one really cares about, including me. So I will be right back. Okay, I got updates. So instead of being able to go through the suspension, not happening. I don't have enough tools here to do it. So this is how you do it. You have to take off the lower control arm, and I will show you what I'm talking about. So on the V6s, you gotta go up through the spring pocket to get to one of the bolts, which I already got it done. But you can see where the bolt was, a little dark spot right there. And then up through the lower control arm hole, there's your nuts. And this Only applies to the V6 trucks. If your truck's already a V8, you don't have to deal with this. So, that's that. Got one more side to do, and I'll stab the engine and we'll pick up on recording. So I'll see y'all later. I had it all set. Okay, everything's set up now finally. We're gonna stab an 8.1 without hopefully breaking the engine lift. Here's Alfredo. He's the other half of the shop. Co-renter. You need to go up. It's still on the pallet.
Dude, it doesn't go over right now.
Yeah. We'll keep it low till we get over there.
Ready? Up.
Yeah.
Should put it out.
It's bowing a little bit. Where'd the cotter pin go for one of those pins? Have you seen that video of engine lift falling because the
Yeah,
pin fell out?
but I think this, on that side of the bench, you gotta like punch it out to get it out.
That's how it's always been. They're always that way. You gotta lean it back in order to get the pins in and out.
I noticed when I was putting it up, I didn't have the cutter pin.
Alright. We'll come in somewhat. Come on, girl.
Oh shit, it's so high.
Yes, sir.
Oh shit. This is breaking apart, dude.
Come on.
Iron?
Yeah, just a little bit. Okay.
You wanna put a jacket in there?
I will. I got mine back there already. Once we get past the trans. All right, go down a little bit. Just a cunt. I mean, just a little hair. I try not to cuss on this channel.
Sure, this is kid friendly, but
All right, go ahead.
YouTube kids.
Well, for me, like, I don't like watching videos where guys cuss and my kids are in the room. Just heat shields cracking.
No, it's the harness.
Oh, the sub harness. What's left of the trans harness? Okay.
You gonna use that?
What?
The sub harness.
No, it's just trash.
There.
Yeah, it's trash. What are we stuck on? Probably junk. All right, hang on. I think the caster's giving out on that one. Is it bent, that caster?
There's a bunch of dirt.
All right. Well, you can go down anyways.
Well, you should have cleaned up.
Yeah. Coulda, shoulda, coulda, woulda. She a big girl.
Oh, dude, she can run right in.
All right, hold on. Let me get the jack.
I feel bad for her.
Okay. Maybe. You can't go any lower, can you?
No, dude.
That's gonna hit.
I would take that off. I don't know why you left it on, bro. 215?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm not sure what we're gonna do for AC.
It's a race truck. That's a race truck. Fucking poison on there, man. Nope. I mean, you can notch the frame.
Yeah, that's probably what we're gonna have to do. A lot. Problem is, it's kind of right in the way of the steering.
Yeah, I don't think you were notching it.
Nope.
Would help. Where are the AC compressors on the 454? Up here now?
Yeah. I don't know if they have the same accessory holes.
I bet you they do. Even
Well, I mean, like a 454 don't have that.
the flip is that? The thermostat?
Yeah, I think it's like a crossover.
Oh. Weird.
Probably.
I think you're hitting the firewall with the back of the head. So I would check with the trains. Right?
Well, I think we're on the tunnel. I'm probably gonna take those frame brackets off the engine.
Good?
Is it raising?
Good? Good? You're gonna need to take off this whole this window. What if we raise it?
Huh?
What if we raise it? The engine.
Might have to. I mean, you're as far as you can go. I think we may end up having to.
Loosen up the.
Well, I mean, because you can't put these in once it's over the.
So why can't we go further back?
Because we're on the tunnel.
The tunnels are nice. Oh yeah, we're gonna hit. Fuck.
Shh.
I mean,
Fudge. I'll have to bleep that out.
what the flip? Dude, composite? Are you serious?
I wonder if we're just gonna have to put the engine in alone and then trans, and that's gonna suck.
No, I'm not doing that. I would take these out.
But you can't get to them once it's over the mounts.
Yeah, because you can't raise the trans up.
Proper?
What?
Pry it over the mounts. How's this side look? Oh, this side's on.
Yeah, okay.
We just need to come.
Yeah,
So if we can pry that one past the mount,
we're good.
then we can lower her down.
Reach. Maybe we got this again.
Ah, you know what? She don't need a painted frame. That's fine.
Dude, I wish I would took in the sandblaster. Man, that little thing.
We didn't take nothing, Alfredo.
Well, it's my sandblaster.
Cute little pry bar.
You like?
No. What are we gonna do? Go down a little bit.
Well, I bet you can't rotate it like that because of the.
We just need a little bit of clearance. Okay. We can lower this down a little bit. Or maybe go up. Nope.
Yeah, go up.
Well, we gotta get it off the trans tunnel is the problem.
Take it off then? You what?
I mean, I'm not totally off, no. I mean, let me just go back up.
No, we were almost there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So let it down?
Yeah, let it out. Dude, it's like right there. Look at that.
Just look at it.
There you go. Look at that. There you go. Make sure it just fall in there, right?
Well, that's the hope.
You ain't lying enough. Dude, you are really off on this side.
That's right. I'm gonna jack this thing up. Hope we didn't crush his oil pressure sensor.
Oh, we most likely did. Now.
Okay. We need to, I'm gonna say adjust. Oh, wait. The bolt that's holding this chain is, yeah. Is it up against the firewall?
It was. Oh, great.
Oh my gosh. That ain't coming out.
Well, at least it was protecting the.
Oil pressure sensor? Dang it, that means we gotta pull it back out.
Oh, and weren't you gonna pull it back out?
Well, yeah, but I kind of need.
I would just do it like this, take a picture, and then we'll pull it out.
Yeah, I mean, I could take a thumbnail picture of it.
Yeah.
It is a little crooked though.
Pull it out tomorrow and take it to your house.
Someday you will see things my way.
Well, why are you trying to take the chain off?
Well, when it's done, how you gonna get the bolt out? The bolt's way too long.
Yeah.
I need a short bolt so we can get the bolt out whenever.
Did you see how much space there is?
There's quite a bit. I mean, I can get my whole hand back there.
But at least it fits.
I mean, I expected it to fit. If a 454 will fit, then this will fit. But, dang it. Okay, well, here's where we're at. So I got things to do. It's New Year's.
Yeah. So we'll just do like this.
We'll
Pull it
get
out tomorrow, drive it.
we'll get a picture of it set in the truck, and then we'll go from there. Take the moving blanket off of it. Drop my microphone. I don't know, dude. Something hit my foot. Okay, is it recording?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's sitting a little crooked. It's the bolt that holds the chain is hitting the firewall right now. I'm out of time. So here it is, roughly sitting in its position, leaning a little bit. So maybe tomorrow, probably not gonna be tomorrow. I don't know, we'll see. Maybe tomorrow I'll come back out here, pull it back out, and put a shorter bolt on the back side of the engine, but it's as far as it's going to go at the moment. I wonder if that power steering pump is going to fit where it needs to fit.
Right.
It's right up against that steering shaft.
It'll fit.
Well, we'll see how this goes. So we'll be back tomorrow, maybe next week. Who knows? See you later. Happy New Year.